Good morning, all my fellow nerds. How you guys doing today? Got a lot of glare today. You know, it's early morning, got the sun coming out. So, and I got the window cracked right there in front of me, kind of get some natural light in here, because these lights kind of suck. So, yeah. So I know it's been a minute. I actually just got back to work a couple days ago. I went home. I'm currently in Ohio. So I try to keep you guys updated on my general location, and I'm in the actually underratedly beautiful state of Ohio. A lot of people tend to not think of Ohio, but I think Ohio has some charm to it. There are a lot of great spots I've driven through where Ohio can be breathtaking. You know, so I think and it's one of the states, and this is one of the underrated states. You know, we tend to only focus on Texas, California, Florida, New York, but I think a lot of states tend to get overlooked. You know, and that's kind of a shame. Michigan is a beautiful state. Minnesota's beautiful. Wisconsin can be beautiful if you get out of the fucking cities. But yeah, so there's a lot, and you know, Kansas can be beautiful too. Like driving down I-35 in Kansas is it can be absolutely breathtaking, and so can fucking Nebraska. You know, go out there in the plains of Nebraska, you know, and see a sunset or a sunrise out there. It can absolutely be beautiful. So it's really kind of sad that some of these states kind of just get overlooked. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts on the Hogwarts Legacy game. I bought that and played that while I was home. I loved it. I thought it was a great game. It had some issues though. It did have some problems, but the graphics were better than I thought they would be. You know, you look at some of these still images, and it didn't really look, you know, like it belonged on PS5. But no, the graphics were actually pretty good. There was a lot of beauty in the game. You know, there's a lot of beauty in the game. The battle sequences were awesome. It was very open world. You know, and you know, and so the battle sequence is really awesome. You have a lot of spells, and so you know, trying to find having to do the right spells for the right enemy can be kind of a challenge. But that's also one of the great things about it, you know. So, and then, you know, there's creatures in the game that you can take care of, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and a couple of the creatures that, you know, you don't really kind of expect. So, that's awesome. And one of the creatures that you get is a surprise for me, because I actually misidentified the creature. When I saw what the creature was, I was thinking something else. And so it was a surprise. I'm not gonna spoil it. Hopefully, if you guys can kind of figure out which one it is, let me know, because one of the creatures was a massive surprise for me. So, but yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the voices. A lot of the voices just seemed like stock English accents, basically, you know. So they didn't really seem like characters. They just kind of seemed like, you know, they just kind of seemed like, you know, people voicing the characters. They didn't really seem like characters, you know. So that was kind of a problem for me. And my wife watched me play the game a little, actually more than a little bit, but not a lot, but not a little either. Like, yeah, medium bit, but she listened to one of the characters, and she found his voice so funny. Because it did not fit with the character design at all. Let's see. It's the caretaker. It's Mr. Moon. Okay, so like his voice does not match at all. My wife kept laughing at his voice. Probably the biggest downside of the game, though, is that the main story mission is so short. It really is. if you were to focus only on like the main missions you absolutely have to do in order to progress the story, you could probably finish the game. I probably could have finished the game in maybe in maybe 2 or 3 days, like that. And honestly, it's not like, and I did play for a majority of my days off, but I still took time. But it's not like I sat there for like 12 hours straight. I took time off to eat. I took time off to go to the bathroom. I took time off to take the kids to and from. I actually didn't even start playing for the most part until after I had taken the kids to school. So I didn't start until almost 9 o'clock in the morning. And I had to go pick up the kids from school. We went out to eat a couple times. I had to go to the store a couple times. So it's not like I sat there all the time and played. I took a couple breaks here and there. So it's like I could have just done it in 3 days, 2 or 3 days. So it's not a very long game, unfortunately. But there is a lot of fluff. There's a lot of side missions. Go find this. Go find that. Do these mini puzzle things. So that's probably my biggest complaint. The game could have been more, like less fluff, more story, and so that's probably my biggest complaints. But other than that, I still loved it. I still loved it. I do not regret buying it. Yeah. So let's see. I don't know if they want. I heard somewhere they wanted to make this game canon. I'm not a big fan of that idea because honestly, I also was not a big fan of kind of the storyline that you got. Like, it was thought out, but it was still kind of a little on the generic side, and it kind of didn't make sense in the lore of the game, and the lore of Harry Potter, So that was also kind of another problem I had. But yeah, so that was the game. I still loved it. It was still great. I still played for hours a day, So they definitely did put a lot of thought though, and a lot of the designs were absolutely wonderful, and it was such a pleasure to play, and it was really just great to be able to run around Hogwarts and explore all of Hogwarts, because I've played the games that were more like based on the movies rather than the books, because that was a thing back then. And I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan, of not being able to explore the whole castle. It was really limited in castle explorations for these previous games. So it was really nice to be able to explore the whole castle, and I just loved it. I couldn't get a Scottish accent. That was another complaint I had. When you're designing a character, one of the complaints I heard about that is that people are like, "Oh, you can't do facial hair." Well, I mean, you're 15 years old. How many 15-year-olds, walking around with facial hair? I mean, I did have facial hair, but I still shaved, so that way I was always clean shaven. Like there weren't too many guys walking around with a beard when I was in high school, so. But I can kind of understand that. But my biggest complaint is I couldn't get a Scottish accent. That was sad. I wanted a Scottish accent. I told my wife that. She goes, "Well, yeah." And I'm going, "You're in Scotland! It's where Hogwarts is located! Like, I should be able to do a Scottish accent!" But, no, I just had to do English. The damn English. Oh, well. But, anyway, so that's the game. In terms of Harry Potter news, I have heard that they are kind of starting pre-production for a Harry Potter TV show. It will kind of be a reboot of the books. So I'm kind of excited for this. On the other hand, I'm also kind of scared because, in today's political correctness climate, I kind of wonder if they're going to make Harry Black, Ron gay, and Hermione trans? Or are they going to make Harry trans, Ron black, Hermione gay? Or they could make Harry trans, Ron gay, and Hermione black. You know, like there's a whole bunch of combinations they could do here, and I worry that they're going to do that for political correctness points. So those are kind of some fears I have. But I'd still watch it. It's still Harry Potter. So I'm a Potterhead. I always will be. I'm always gonna watch and play and read. So, but yeah, I do hope that if they're gonna fucking reboot it, stick to the fucking source material, people. But anyway, we'll see what they do. It probably won't be a couple more years before we even see a promotional teaser or anything like that. So I think that's it. Great game is great, and kind of waiting for the TV show. But anyway, you guys be good, have fun, and I will see you guys later.